Welcome to the European Association for Higher Education Advancement's YouTube and podcast channel. Get ready, because today we're diving deep into some advice for anyone about to graduate.
Yeah.
Those exciting and sometimes nerve-wracking first steps after university.
Right.
We'll be taking a close look at preparing for life after university. Tips for graduating students from the European Association for Higher Education Advancement themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know that feeling of what now?
Yeah.
When graduation is on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this deep dive is all about arming you with practical tips from the EAEA to help smooth that transition.
It's like standing at the edge of a map.
Okay.
You've got the compass, but there's so many paths to choose from. This guide is all about giving you the tools to navigate those choices.
Okay, let's unpack this.
You sure?
The first thing that jumped out at me was their emphasis on planning.
Yeah.
And they're not just talking about your graduation party, they're talking about starting early with your next steps.
That's right. The EAEA highlights how crucial it is to start early. Think of it like this. The sooner you start, the less stressful it'll be, and the more time you'll have to make informed decisions about your future.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You don't want to be scrambling at the last minute feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly. And when they say planning, they're talking about taking concrete actions.
Okay.
For example, you could start researching different career paths that pique your interest.
Uh-huh.
Going beyond just thinking about them, but really digging in and learning about what those jobs actually entail.
So it's about being proactive and getting a head start while you still have the resources of the university at your fingertips.
Absolutely. You can utilize your university's career services,
Yeah.
connect with professors in your field, or even reach out to alumni who are already working in those areas.
Speaking of finances, that brings up a topic that I remember stressing about a lot as graduation approached.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to fall into that trap of thinking student loans are a safety net.
Right.
Then suddenly, reality hits.
The EAEA gets it. They know finances can be a major source of anxiety for new grads. Yeah.
That's why they dedicate a whole section to getting your finances in order.
Okay.
They even suggest using budgeting apps or tools. There are tons of great ones out there. It's about understanding all the expenses that are heading your way.
Yeah.
Rent, bills, groceries, transportation.
Mm-hmm.
It all adds up.
It really does. Those adulting costs can sneak up on you.
They sure can. But the good news is that many resources are available to help with financial planning even after you graduate. Your university might have alumni networks or workshops.
Right.
And there are also plenty of online resources and financial advisors who can guide you.
All right, we've talked about planning and finances.
Yes.
Now the EAAC really hammers home the importance of networking.
Yeah.
But do you think it's really as crucial as they make it out to be?
You know, it's easy to dismiss networking as just a buzzword.
Right.
But the EACA provides a compelling argument for why it's so essential.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Building a strong network opens doors to opportunities that might not even be advertised.
It's about tapping into a hidden job market.
So it's not just about schmoozing at events,
Right.
but about building genuine connections and relationships.
Precisely. In their article, they share this incredible anecdote about a recent graduate who landed their dream job in renewable energy simply because they had a casual conversation with an alum at a university event.
Wow.
That alum happened to be a recruiter for a leading solar company. It highlights how networking isn't just about collecting business cards. It's about building relationships that can lead to unexpected and exciting opportunities. You just never know where a conversation might lead you.
Those alumni connections are like hidden gold, aren't they?
Yes.
They've been in your shoes. They know the ropes.
Exactly. They can offer invaluable insights, mentorship, and
Wow.
even a foot in the door. And the EACA even provides specific avenues for networking,
Okay.
job fairs, professional organizations, and even just reaching out to alumni in your field through LinkedIn or your university's alumni network.
I love how the EAE also talks about skill development. They have this great phrase, future-proofing your career.
Yeah.
What exactly do they mean by that?
It's a really powerful concept because the job market is constantly evolving. What's hot today might be outdated tomorrow. Continuous learning is no longer just a nice to have. It's essential for staying relevant and adaptable in any career.
So how can we future-proof ourselves in practical terms?
It's all about embracing lifelong learning. And it doesn't have to mean going back to university full-time.
Right.
Think about taking online courses, attending workshops, or even pursuing hobbies that could translate into valuable skills.
I never thought about hobbies that way, but you're right. For example, if you love photography, maybe you could learn how to edit videos,
Exactly.
which could be helpful in a marketing role.
Yeah.
It's about seeing the potential in everything you do.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about keeping your mind sharp and your skills fresh.
Yeah.
And it demonstrates to potential employers that you're proactive and committed to your own growth.
Now, all this talk about planning and skills is important.
Yeah.
But I think what really resonated with me in the EAHE article was their focus on mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Because let's face it, graduating and entering the real world can be a roller coaster of emotions, right?
You're absolutely right. It's a huge life transition.
Yeah.
And it's natural to feel a mix of excitement, anxiety, and maybe even a bit of fear of the unknown. The EAE acknowledges that and emphasizes the importance of cultivating a positive mindset.
So instead of dreading the unknown, it's about embracing it as an opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
I like that perspective.
That's exactly what they're advocating for. They suggest reframing the experience as a chance to learn, grow,
Okay.
and discover new things about yourself and the world around you. It's about seeing the potential and the possibilities, not just the challenges.
It's like that saying, the only constant is change. We have to be adaptable and open to whatever comes our way.
Exactly. And that brings us to the EEA's second key piece of advice about mindset.
All right.
Keeping an open mind.
Ooh, tell me more about that. What do they mean by keeping an open mind?
Well, they point out that sometimes the most fulfilling and rewarding paths are the ones we least expect. They even share a story about a graduate who thought they were destined for a career in finance, but ended up finding their true passion working for a nonprofit organization focused on environmental conservation.
Wow.
They never would have considered that path initially,
Yeah.
but being open to new possibilities led them to a career they truly love.
That's such a good point. It reminds me of my own experience.
Oh.
Well, when I graduated, I was convinced I wanted to work in publishing. I had this whole plan mapped out.
Yeah.
But then I stumbled upon an internship at a tech startup, and it completely changed my trajectory.
It's amazing how sometimes those unexpected detours lead us to exactly where we're meant to be.
Exactly. So being open to different options and embracing the unknown is key.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and explore those unexpected opportunities.
You've got it. And remember, even if things don't go according to plan, that's okay too. It's all part of the learning process.
Okay, we've covered a ton of valuable advice from the EAEA.
Yeah.
Planning, finances, networking, skill development, and even mindset.
Right.
But before we wrap up, I think it's worth emphasizing that this is just the starting point.
You've hit the nail on the head. These tips are a foundation, a springboard to launch you into this next chapter.
So where do we go from here? What's the most important thing listeners should take away from all of this?
The EAEA leaves us with a powerful final thought.
Okay.
The importance of self-reflection.
Ooh, that's good. Tell me more.
It's about taking the time to really understand your own strengths, your passions, your values, what makes you tick, what are you uniquely good at, what kind of impact do you want to make on the world.
It's about knowing yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then figuring out how to leverage those strengths and passions as you navigate this new chapter.
Precisely, because when you're aligned with your authentic self,
Yeah.
when you're pursuing something you genuinely care about, that's when you unlock your full potential.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Finding that path that feels right for you, even if it's not the path you initially envisioned.
Exactly. It's about embracing the journey and trusting that you have the skills and the resilience to make this transition a success.
And remember, the EAHEA is there to support you along the way. They have tons of resources and guidance available for graduating students and young professionals.
They're a fantastic organization dedicated to empowering individuals to thrive in their post-university lives.
Well said. So if you're feeling a little lost or overwhelmed, definitely check out the EAHEA website. They have a wealth of information and support waiting for you.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, you can also connect with them on social media for even more tips and inspiration.
It's a great way to stay connected and learn from others who are on the same journey.
Absolutely. So as you step out of the familiar halls of academia and into the wider world, remember this. You've got this. You're equipped with knowledge, skills, and a whole lot of potential.
And with a little planning, a positive mindset, and a willingness to embrace the unknown,
Yeah.
you're ready to create a fulfilling and impactful next chapter.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into life after university.
It was my pleasure. It really is a journey. And like any good journey, it's about enjoying the ride, the ups and downs,
Yeah.
the unexpected turns, and all the learning that happens along the way.
I love that perspective. As we're talking about all these tips from the EEAA, I'm realizing how much they emphasize the importance of being proactive.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about waiting for things to happen. It's about taking charge and shaping your own future.
That's a great observation. And I think that proactive mindset is particularly important when it comes to the job search. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of opportunities out there.
Right.
But the EEAA encourages graduates to be strategic and focused in their approach.
So instead of just sending out hundreds of generic resumes,
Yeah.
it's about identifying your target companies or industries and really tailoring your applications to showcase your relevant skills and experiences.
Exactly. And it's not just about the resume. The EAAA also talks about the importance of crafting a compelling cover letter
Okay.
that goes beyond simply summarizing your resume. They suggest using it as an opportunity to tell your story, to highlight your unique passions and qualifications, and to connect with the company's mission and values.
That makes so much sense. It's about showing them why you're a perfect fit, not just why you need a job.
Right. And they even suggest going beyond the traditional job boards and networking events.
Okay.
They encourage graduates to be creative and resourceful in their job search.
Like reaching out directly to companies they admire,
Yes.
even if those companies aren't actively hiring.
Precisely.
Right.
It's about taking initiative and showcasing your enthusiasm and proactive spirit.
Another thing that struck me about the EAAA article is their emphasis on the importance of feedback.
Oh, yeah.
They talk about seeking feedback on your resume, your cover letter, and even your interviewing skills.
That's such a valuable point. It's easy to get caught up in our own heads and assume we're doing everything right.
Right.
But getting an outside perspective can be incredibly helpful. It's about being open to constructive criticism and using it as an opportunity to learn and grow.
And who better to ask for feedback than people who have been in your shoes?
Exactly.
Professors, mentors, alumni, career counselors, they can all offer valuable insights and guidance.
Absolutely. And the EAA even suggests reaching out to people who work in your field of interest, even if you don't know them personally. A quick email or LinkedIn message asking for a brief informational interview can go a long way.
This reminds me of a quote I read recently. Feedback is the breakfast of champions.
Oh, I like that.
It's so true. The more feedback we get, the more we can learn, adapt, and improve.
And the EAAA emphasizes that feedback isn't just about identifying areas for improvement.
Okay.
It's also about recognizing your strengths and celebrating your successes.
Yes. It's important to acknowledge how far you've come and to give yourself credit for all the hard work you've put in.
And they encourage graduates to use those successes as fuel to keep moving forward, to keep learning and to keep growing. It's about building your confidence and believing in your ability to succeed.
I love how the EAT takes a holistic approach to this transition.
Right.
They're not just giving practical tips, they're also addressing the emotional and psychological aspects of this major life change.
Absolutely. They recognize that graduating from university is not just about finding a job. It's about finding your place in the world, defining your own path, and creating a life that is meaningful and fulfilling.
And they offer such a positive and encouraging message throughout the article.
Yeah.
It's like they're saying, hey, this is a big transition, but you've got this. You're prepared, you're capable, and you have a whole community of support behind you.
It's like they're giving graduates a virtual hug and a pep talk all rolled into one.
Yeah.
You're saying, we believe in you. Now go out there and make us proud.
I think that's a beautiful sentiment.
Right.
And it's so important for graduates to hear that message of encouragement and support as they embark on this next chapter.
As we're nearing the end of our deep dive, I'm struck by how much valuable information the EAAA has packed into this article.
Right.
They've covered everything from planning and finances to networking and skill development to mindset and feedback.
It's like a one-stop shop for all things related to life after university.
And yet, even with all these tips and strategies, I think the most important takeaway is the message of empowerment that they convey.
Oh.
They're reminding graduates that they have the power to shape their own future.
It's not about blindly following a prescribed path.
Right.
It's about carving your own way, embracing the unknown, and trusting your own instincts and abilities.
And that's such a powerful message, especially for young people who are just starting out in their careers.
So as we wrap up,
Yes.
I want to leave our listeners with this thought.
Yeah.
You are the author of your own story. Don't be afraid to write a bold and adventurous one.
That's a fantastic way to put it. Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and never stop learning and growing.
And remember, the EAEA is there to support you every step of the way. Check out their website for more resources and guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to connect with them on social media.
They're a fantastic organization dedicated to helping graduates thrive in their post-university lives.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
It's been such an insightful conversation about navigating life after university.
It's a topic that's close to my heart, and I always enjoy these conversations with you.
Me too.
Yeah.
And, as we've been talking, I keep thinking back to something you mentioned earlier about the importance of self-reflection.
Yeah.
I think that's such a crucial step that often gets overlooked in the rush of graduation and job hunting.
You're absolutely right. It's so easy to get caught up in the external pressures and expectations.
Right.
But taking the time to pause and reflect on your own values, goals, and passions can make all the difference.
It's like taking a step back to recalibrate your internal compass before setting off on your journey.
That's a great analogy. And self-reflection isn't just a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process, especially during times of transition and change.
So how can our listeners incorporate self-reflection into their daily lives? Do you have any practical tips?
Well, one simple but effective technique is journaling. Taking a few minutes each day to jot down your thoughts.
Okay.
Feelings and observations can help you gain clarity and self-awareness.
I love that idea. It's like having a conversation with yourself on paper.
Exactly. And you can use journaling to explore different aspects of your life. What are you grateful for? What challenges are you facing? What are you learning and growing from?
It's about checking in with yourself and becoming more attuned to your own inner voice.
And another powerful tool for self-reflection is mindfulness meditation.
Okay.
Taking even just 5 or 10 minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath can help you calm your mind,
Yeah.
reduce stress, and gain perspective.
I've heard so much about the benefits of mindfulness, but I've always been a bit intimidated to try it. Any advice for beginners?
Start small. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Even just a minute or two of focused breathing can be beneficial. There are also tons of great guided meditation apps and resources available online.
I might have to give that a try. Self-reflection and mindfulness are not just about personal growth.
Right.
They can also be incredibly valuable in the professional world.
Absolutely. In today's fast-paced work environment, it's more important than ever to be able to manage stress, stay focused, and make clear-headed decisions. Self-awareness and mindfulness can help you do just that.
And they can also help you develop stronger relationships with colleagues and clients.
Exactly. When you're more attuned to your own emotions and motivations, you're better equipped to understand and empathize with others.
It's all about building those emotional intelligence muscles.
Well said. And as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to emphasize that self-reflection and mindfulness are not just for recent graduates.
Right.
They're valuable tools for anyone at any stage of their career.
They're lifelong practices that can help us navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease and resilience.
And they can help us stay connected to our core values, our purpose, and our passion.
So to all our listeners out there, whether you're a recent graduate or a seasoned professional, I encourage you to embrace the power of self-reflection and mindfulness.
Yes.
They can truly transform your life both personally and professionally.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you today. I always appreciate our conversations.
Likewise. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on this journey of discovery.
Remember, the EAHEA is a fantastic resource for graduates and young professionals. Check out their website for more information and support.
And be sure to follow them on social media for even more tips and inspiration. Please don't forget to follow the European Association for Higher Education Advancement on YouTube and social media.